Mr. Sharma, are you here?
Namaste, Gangadharji.
Namaste, Umesh. How are you? Yeah.
So Sharmaji will come. So after that, if there are any questions about class,
all right,
we can clear that. Then we can continue to his class.
Okay, great. So I had requested him to tell why it is important to go through Sanskrit and Samskruti class. So will he be handling that part later? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, he will.
Okay, perfect. So let me introduce you to the audience. Some of them are new. Thank you, Umesh ji, for joining this. And he has been taking most of the classes that I have seen, and I've also attended in a very nice way. And the class is called a Sanskrit and Samskruti class. And what we have been doing is every Monday at 4 p.m. It goes on till 5 p.m. and sometimes it extends also beyond also, depending on the interest of the kids, and sometimes technical glitches also happen because of that. And we already have around 65 people in our WhatsApp groups, around which around half of them are active. And for the younger kids, we were insisting that, like, younger kids who can't follow the class, we were insisting that the parents also be along with them, so that they can, and parents also, if they want, they can join. And this is purely on donation basis. There is no lower limit and there is no upper limit, and there is no persistence to pay, right? At the end of every month in the WhatsApp groups, I share his bank account, and then whoever is willing to pay how much ever, it goes like that. Okay, that's the way we have been doing. And now that people have joined, okay, new people have joined, Umesh has told us very clearly that he will somehow accommodate them also. We had a call yesterday, and then we were thinking that 6 to 10 can be one group, but we don't know. We are not saying that yet. We have to see how many people are joining the WhatsApp groups after this call. I will be sharing the link to join the WhatsApp group in our various groups. And once we see how many people have joined, then we will decide whether 6 to 10 and 11 to 15 have to be different. So that's the overall thing. Now, if you have questions, please go ahead and ask the question directly to Mr. Umesh ji. Thanks, Umesh ji.
Okay, namaste. So just namaste to all. So just I will share what I am doing in Sanskrit and Samskruti class. So then you can ask any question. So if regarding that class. So just I think we have started before 6 months. So so mainly we are focusing on some Veda mantras. Basically this group is named as Jivana Shikshana group. Jivana Shikshana. So here just we want to share the things or thoughts which are related to our life. So basically we take all the things or thoughts from Vedas and our scriptures. So because they are the source, the main source for us, for the life science, So we thought, we thought that we have to teach all these things. We have to share all these thoughts with younger generation. That means that maybe children or maybe up to 15. So then when it will reach them, so they can cultivate all the things which are there in Vedas and our scriptures. So which is very related to our life. So basically we are myself and my students and my Dharma Patni wife. So we will handle mainly I will handle the class. I will take the class, but if I cannot do, by my wife or my students, they will handle the class. So basically we have divided that class into 3 parts. The one part is to teach Veda mantras, chanting, Veda mantra chanting. So we will recite or we will teach mantras with 3 swara, that means Traiswarya. So that is one part, and the meaning of that one. So which is which we can use that mantras in our daily life. And then Subhashitas. Subhashita means the good words. So they are in small like poem in Sanskrit. They're like a poem. So we will teach that, and we will give the meaning of that, and then we will tell a story about that. And then we are focusing on Samskrita Sambhashana. That means the spoken Sanskrit. So these are the main three things. And in that only we teach life science, the Veda mantras and the Subhashitas. They're directly related to our life. And then we are introducing, or we teach even that also, how our scriptures and how they have been written, and what was the purpose, and the whole history of that our main scriptures. So these are the main thing which we are covering in our Monday class, Jivana Shikshana class. So we named that one for Jivana Shikshana for it itself, because our life should be very fine, very good, and peaceful. So that what are the thoughts we can take from Vedas and scriptures, so that we want to share with you people. So that is the main focus.
Now, do you want to take questions?
Yes, definitely. If they have any questions, they can ask.
Yes. So I think one more thing I would like to add is the languages that you use during the class are English and Hindi.
Hindi, both language I am using. I will use using.
Please feel free to unmute and then ask your question, please.
This is
Himmat, and my daughter is here.
Just a minute.
Okay.
No, you can. Okay, please.
Okay. So myself, Himmat, and my daughter is here. So my daughter would like to join this class.
Okay.
So whether she can join, and what are the any difficulties you have to be prepared something for that one? Or she can join anytime. I mean, from
just she can join tomorrow class. So
Okay.
which age group she is now?
13 years.
13 years. No, she can join. She can join from tomorrow. So then if we need to divide a group, then we will decide. So tomorrow she can join. Directly she can join. There is no criteria to join like this. Okay, directly she can join if she has interest. If she has interest.
Thank you very much.
Okay, welcome. You are welcome.
Hello.
Namaste.
Namaste, sir. I have no questions. Actually, my children are attending your classes, Ahan and Udant. You might remember them.
Okay, yes.
Yes, sir. So I just want to tell you personally, thank you very much for the last lessons, and they are really eagerly waiting for you to speak again.
Okay. Tomorrow we will meet again.
Very nice you are teaching, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, welcome.
Namaste, Acharya ji.
Namaste.
This is Ahan's mother.
Okay, please.
Namaste.
Hmm.
Again, thank you for the lovely classes. We both enjoy your classes a lot. But now that the group will be divided, I wanted to ask that in Sanskrit, will you be for higher, like upper age group, will you be taking Vyakaran also?
No, I will. Okay, Saviji, I will inform you that there will be another one class, which is basic Sanskrit class. That will also I will inform. No one who is interested in that want to go to more intensively. So they will have basic Samskrita course class that will be handling. That will the Amritavarshini will handle that class. So they can move to that class. Even they can join this also and that also. So that is we have a form that means we have 6-month course. Okay, so that will be for basic Samskrita learning course. So we will think that will be weekly twice or once we will do that. So we can join that also. By joining that directly, we will go to the Samskrita basic and that will be more intensively. We are teaching Samskrita there. So you can join that also. Huh?
So both of us can
Directly,
join.
grammar, Samskrita grammar part.
Yeah, sure. So you will let me know, right?
Yes, definitely. I will inform you in the group itself.
Ji. Dhanyawad.
Ubeshji, the same question from here. Namaste.
Namaste.
Sheetal Jignesh's mom.
Okay, please.
So last year, when we started, Jignesh has joined. And I would like him to, and rather he would also like to move to the basic Sanskrit class that you just spoke. Along with doing the Shubhashitam, he is now interested in moving to actual basics of Sanskrit.
Okay.
Amrit Darshik Bhagini would be taking, right? You mentioned.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, will do send and you
So
will
that
be
I will inform.
informing.
That I will inform you when we are starting and how you can join. That I will inform you in the group itself. So then you can join. I think you are in the Jivana Shikshana group now.
Yes, I am in the Jivana Shikshana group, and Jignesh is attending your classes.
Okay.
And the main interest created when the Bhagini took the Pratyartha Sutrani.
Yes.
And after that, he has created the interest. Since then, as we were having a gap, but he still continued working on Sanskrit.
Okay.
So we would like to thank you for creating that crisp and interest in our child about Sanskrit and Samskruti. Thank you so much.
Yes.
You can continue asking Umesh whatever you want. Later I will take over.
So if there are any questions related class, you can definitely ask.
Yeah, Umeshji, thank you so much. There is no question as such. I'm Bhavni's father. Bhavni he's also part of the Jivana Shikshana group.
Okay.
Thank you so much for taking all those classes. It was really nice. Just one question. Actually, in my childhood also, my third language was Sanskrit. Okay, and I'm sure we used to appear for some of the exams, like something like Prathamik type of thing. So I mean, whether these kids at certain age they can appear for those type of exams. I mean that. There are certain exams, right? I mean, which you can just to assess your Sanskrit level. I believe there are some exams. I'm not sure. I forgot all those names, but I think it is like Prathamik, Prarambhik, something like that. I'm not sure. So whether they can appear at certain age.
So there are so many examination centers. So Delhi. So the Samskrita Bharati, so that is conducting so many exams. So even they have postal exams also, So
Okay.
postal exams also. So even from I think in Karnataka there is one Mat, Sringeri Mat. So they conduct Sura Saraswati Sabha, so Prathama and Madhyama, Turiya, like that. So they have examinations. So if they are interested, they can attend that also.
Aksharam.
Okay. Okay. So we are from Hyderabad.
So I think the centers will be there. So they have centers, Sura Saraswati Sabha Center and Sanskrit Bharati Center. So in Hyderabad also there is a center, I think. So I will whether there is a center, I will inform you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
And one thing I want to share with you, I think you have heard about, I think you have heard the lectures of Sharma ji. So don't worry about examinations. So if they want a certificate, they can definitely they can join. But let them learn first, and then they can write.
Understood. No, I'm not. Honestly,
Okay,
I'm not worried about.
That's fine.
I'm not worried about all those.
Okay, fine, very good. That's very good.
Not worried. I'm just from my curiosity, because I used to.
Yes, there are so many like their centers. They can definitely write. Definitely they can write.
Thank you so much.
Sir, I'm Shivanand here.
Okay, please.
Got one question. So you will be taking, like, every Monday you will be taking class and some Sanskrit. So apart from that, if you want to do at home, like homeschooling and all, will you be giving any guidance, like how we should conduct homeschooling, like general tips once in a, right?
So Sharma, if you attend Sharmaji's class, they will he is teaching that itself. So what you can teach and what you can do, that also. Even we are planning to that also. So weekly or fortnightly, if we can do that. So that also we are thinking. Definitely when we start that, we will inform you. When you attend the Sharmaji's class, that means Sunday's class, the main focus is on that itself.
Okay, okay. Okay, thank you so much.
Nearly Bama Amrut.
Shailesh, we can't. You are not audible. You are not audible.
Hear me now?
Yes.
So Shailesh here is my son Krishna. So he's not so pro with Sanskrit language as such, but he likes to read and stories in English and listen in stories English and Hindi, Marathi, whatever.
No problem.
But, the challenge is how will he be engaged in Sanskrit stories and learn the language, which I'm really concerned about. So maybe he can try attending, but I don't know if he'll be engaged in that sessions or not. So is there any how are you going to conduct the session so that he'll be there?
So no, it's a online class. So one weekly 1 day's class will be there. One day. That means Monday 4 to 5 p.m. So there we will tell Samskrita story, Samskrita shloka, and Samskrita mantra, and Samskrita language, spoken language. All the things we learn in 1 hour. So he can join, and if we get interested, then even that we are thinking that they have to read Sanskrit, and then they have to read stories in Sanskrit. All that will be further improvement. Okay. So he definitely can join.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Hi, sir.
Namaste. Yeah.
Namaste. Sir, my daughter is 5 years old, 5 years, 3 months. How about introducing Sanskrit language now, or should I need to wait till she turns 6?
No, she can come to class, but you should be there. One parent should be there with her.
Yeah, I'll be there for sure.
Then it's okay. Then it's okay. You can learn and teach her.
Yeah.
You can learn and teach her.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
You continue, madam. Okay, thank you to everyone. So if there is any question, you can ask even Sharma ji also. So I have introduced about the Jivana Shikshana class. So if any inquiries, you can ask Sharma ji also. So he will also answer. So now I have some other work. I will leave you.
Umesh ji, thank you very much for coming. Okay, namaste. Okay, namaste. Sir, Gangadhar here.
Yes, good evening to all of you.
Good evening, sir. Sir, today, I just to tell the others also, I requested you to talk about why is it important to learn Sanskrit and Samskruti. And many people have a question mark, including me when I joined this. How is Samskruti imparted to kids and why is it important? Can you please tell us from the Vedic point of view and your experience also, sir?
Okay. As it is on the face of it, at the superfluous level, Sanskrit is also a language which is needed for communication. That's at the superfluous level. But Sanskrit language has got its own, I repeat, its own peculiarities and uniqueness and specialities, which you don't find in many of the languages. And because mostly all the Indian languages are influenced with Sanskrit, to learn Sanskrit would be better to learn your local language also. That's another advantage. Then, after Sanskrit language, you have to go beyond that Sanskrit language and go for Vedic language. Vedic language is still systematic and well built. That will help our communication to the best extent possible. I know a few languages. Compared to all other languages, I find this Vedic language is more communicative and clear. And Sanskrit is a step for it. It is because it's closer to Vedic language. That's number one. Then Sanskrit, as understood today, is just a language. Many say it's a dead language because it is not the language of any of the state or house or any family. But the conditions have changed. Many people are interested in Sanskrit and they're talking Sanskrit in their routine thing. More than that, Sanskrit is not just a language. I'm going beyond that superfluous level. Sanskrit is not just a language, but it's a culture. It gives values. Maybe a sentence is pakka from the point of view of Sanskrit language, but the culture, we are also important. We are also concentrating on that culture also. Just I'll give one simple example. Aham dhumapanam karomi. It's perfect. The sentence is perfect. From the language point of view, it's good. From the cultural point of view, it fails because we'll be slaves to that vice, smoking. So, this is not Sanskrit. I repeat, this is not Sanskrit. This is not at all cultural Sanskrit. So, culture is embedded with the language. That's very important. So, when you study this Sanskrit and further the Vedic language, the way we look at the world, the way we lead our life will have to change. If it doesn't bring any change, but remains just as a media of communication, then it's of no use. Whether Sanskrit or any XYZ, the languages remain the same. But here, the importance or emphasis on the cultural aspect is there in Sanskrit language. So that we have to find out, that we have to understand. And with that point of view only, we have to learn and teach Sanskrit. Then it is not just a language, but a way of life. Culture is nothing but way of life. Samskruti is nothing but way of life. Refining, the whole life gets refined. That's the base of the Sanskrit language actually. But today, many institutions, they propagate, or many teachers teach Sanskrit as a language. Mere language is of no use. Mere language is of no use. We can communicate with the help of any language for that matter. But we hold Sanskrit as supreme because along with language, it trains our way of life also, our thinking also. That's a basic thing. Without that cultural aspect, without improving our life, if that language is spoken, it is as good as a dead language. So that's the basic thing what you have to understand. Now, for that sake, we have many books which teach us Sanskrit. But all books, from the point of view of what I have told just now, all books are not Sanskrit books. The language may be Sanskrit, but cultural thing we will have, that which helps us to lead our lives, there are very few, and we can pick them up and read. For example, just two things I tell you. One is Bhartruhari's Niti Shataka. Bhartruhari's Niti Shataka. There are 100 shlokas in that, which speak about the values of life. And we have got in Mahabharata what is known as Vidura Niti. The Niti explained by Vidura. That's also very good. Vidura Niti and Bhartruhari's Niti Shataka to begin with. Okay. Then I want to talk with you some Vedic thoughts. I want to share with you some Vedic thoughts, which will be useful to you and as well as your children. These things you have to understand and experience and pass on that experience and knowledge to your children also. Whatever be their age, it doesn't matter. Any language, Sanskrit is a good media. Any language also you can use for conveying this concept. So there is one Veda mantra which says, Vishnu karmani pashyata eto vratani paspashe indrasya yujya sakha. Vishnu karmani pashyata eto vratani paspashe indrasya yujya sakha. That's all the mantra. I'll give the address for that. Address onchu nod heltiyamma Amrit. Atha Bhrugu yaro bru. Ade Vishnu Karmani Pashyata mantra address. Neenadu nod helparada. Rigveda anta anstadu. Illa. The whole concept of this mantra changes our outlook, changes our orientation. So I'll give you a few examples. So look at a car. Oh, how beautiful is this car? Who is the manufacturer? What is the name of the car? This is how we think. We look at a house, a bungalow. Oh, how beautiful this bungalow is. Who is the contractor? Who is the mason? Who is the owner of this house? This is how we think. But such a thinking will not be there when you look at a beautiful mango tree. Okay, that is Rigveda 1:12:19. 1:22:19 Rigveda. 1.22.19. But when you look at nature, we don't remember the creator at all. We remember how wonderful this nature is. Nature is inert. Who created this nature? What is the force that made nature like this? What a wonderful creator he is. What a wonderful omniscient he is. That won't come to our mind. But that should come. That's what this mantra says. Look at the works of God. When I say Vishnu, it means omnipresent. It doesn't mean according to that Puranas, we got so many stories. A ocean of milk, and on that serpent he is sleeping. Lakshmi is pressing his legs. He has got Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, so many things. Such a thing is not there in that word Vishnu. Vishnu Vyaptav. Vishnu means that which is omnipresent, which is everywhere. That is God only. God is everywhere. So this God is the creator of this whole universe. Where there is no handiwork of human beings, is created by God. Car, for example, many human beings have applied their mind and created that car. So it is not God's creation. A house, a building, bricks, cement, sand, everything. Bricks is a creation of man. Sand is creation of God. Cement is a creation of man. And his whole building, the whole structure is the creation of man. They have used natural products. Using that, they have done this whole building. But who created originally that thing in nature? It's not just nature. It's not just nature. It is God's creation. God's Vishal Shah, please unmute. Vishal Shah. So God's creation and human creation, creation with human intervention, we have to separate. We have to look at God's creation. It is so wonderful, so beautiful, so balanced, so in equilibrium. Excellent creations. Anything you look at it. Just a few examples will tell you. You take a tree. We see a tree which is green and a lot of leaves are there. That's all. We stop there. But you please observe keenly, no two leaves are alike. See, there are thousands of leaves in a tree. Forget about different trees, different leaves. In just one single tree, there are thousands of leaves and no two leaves are alike. You have to observe it. A whole group of people are there. Please look at them keenly, closely. No two noses are alike. No two fingerprints are alike. See, as many people as there are so many types of fingerprints, iris and nose are there. Wonderful. So creative. So different. See, that is the beauty of it. And all these are created by God. God's system. Again, God's system, it is done. Look at a coconut tree, for example. And compare it with the human pump and sump. Whatever we collect in the sump, we pump it to the overhead tank. And however the water is in the sump, the same quality of water will be pumped to the top, overhead tank. Now what happens in case of a coconut tree? Any water you put it at the root of the coconut tree, clean water, washed water, whatever it is, that will be pumped to the top, and at the top, nectar is prepared in the form of tender coconut. See, whatever be the quality, what is put to the root at the base will get converted into a good quality of water, a medicinal drink. That will not happen in the case of sump and pump. Whatever quality of water is there in sump, the same quality will go to the overhead tank through pump. No change. But here, the whole thing is there, is converted into wonderful nectar-like water. Now all this is done without electricity, without pump. You see, in the human manufacture, human arrangement, a pump should be there. Otherwise, the water will not go from sump to the overhead tank. It should be pumped. For running the pump, you need electricity or even manual power, something like that. But nothing is there in the case of coconut tree. Any quality of water gets converted into nectar like coconut water at the top without pump, without electricity. What a wonderful arrangement. They are not amazed at these things. They are not wondering about these things. Okay, we look at a sculpture, idol. And when you look at the idol, we immediately remember the sculptor who has sculpted this idol. Oh, what a beautiful idol. How well this sculptor has done it. That is fine. But who created the wonderful stone for him to carve on it? You don't think about it. That stone, the original basic material for sculpting an idol, is more interesting and is more wonderful than the sculpture. Sculpture is a human product, whereas stone is a product of a gift of God. Vishnu karmani pashyata. Like this, if we start looking at all these things, we wonder about the Creator. We are not in doubt about the Creator. There should be, we understand there should be a force which is omnipresent, which is omniscient, and which is omnipotent, which is behind all these gifts and creations. This is part of culture. This is part of Samskruti. Only when we understand and look at these things, yes, we become theists. If you are not observant, we become atheists and ask several foolish questions. Is God there? How is there? What he can do? I don't believe in God. All such foolish things will come. But when you look at the thing where human intervention is not there, who has created it? It is nothing but God. That's Vishnu. Again, when I say Vishnu, don't tell you and don't tell yourself or your children, Vishnu is that God with the Pitambara and other things who is in Vaikuntha. That's all Puranic fictions. The truth is, it is an energy, it is a consciousness, Parama Chaitanya, which is everywhere. That is God. It's not inert. It is intelligent and capable of doing things. It has created this whole nature and universe. So whenever you look at a nature, look at the nature, then immediately we should be able to remember the creator of it, that is a God. We can't bind God in a temple, a mosque, or a church. It is spread everywhere. It is spread in every atom. Another beautiful word I want to share with you, that is Lakshmi. You are familiar with that word Lakshmi. Lakshmi is not a new word for you all. What do you understand when you say Lakshmi? We say it is goddess of wealth. And we are given some painting or some sculpture. It says in a lotus, a goddess is standing and with her hands, palms, she is showering wealth in the form of gold coins or this or that. In another hand, she holds a lotus, something like that. But that's only an artist's imagination. But the actual meaning of Lakshmi is different. When you look at it from the Vedic language point of view. To go to Vedic language, of course, Sanskrit will help us. But we can go straight to Vedic language also. The root of that word Lakshmi is Laksha Darshana Ankana Yoho. That which distinct features what has been created, we can see, and the creator is called Lakshmi. God is above gender. We can call God as masculine, we can call God as feminine, we can call God also as neuter gender, it's beyond gender. So here God has been referred to with a feminine word, a word having feminine gender, that is Lakshmi. The one who is capable of or who has created this world and nature with clear distinctive features and qualities, that is called as Lakshmi. You see, we had misunderstood Lakshmi since our childhood, but the actual meaning of it in the Vedic language is this. Darshana, clear, visible. Ankana, signs, with visible signs and qualities. Everything is like that. How wonderful each thing is. You go deep into the observation what you make, then everywhere you can see God. You see this beautiful system, solar system. Sun is in the middle. The planets are moving around it. They don't have any support. They are not hanged to anyone. They are not pressed on either side by anything. They are all in the space. Even then, they are all held by that invisible gravitational force. And they are moving around that sun in a definite path at a definite speed. Not only that, many planets, they are also revolving around themselves. See what a wonderful arrangement it is. Coming to the point of Earth, it takes a definite path around the sun, definite path. It won't budge from that path even an inch. And it takes 365 and a quarter day to cover one round around the sun. And it rotates around itself. And it takes 24 hours. Day and night is done. What a wonderful creation we have got. Only thing is we have to observe it. When you observe it, everything created by God in nature is wonderful, awesome, mind-boggling. You can use that word also. Many times you will not be able to understand how it is done. Such a beautiful thing is there in nature around. See that Vishnoho karmani pashyata. Next time when you look at nature, next time when you look at something not manufactured or created or derived by human being, you please remember that God, that great entity, which has created with all intelligence and wisdom and power. That's the first part of the mantra. Vishnu karmani pashyata. The way we look at nature should change from now on. Whenever we look at that nature, immediately we should remember that God, that entity God. Then we'll definitely become theists, and that's the truth. Then the next part, Yeto vratani paspashe. Once we understand this beautiful arrangement in nature, if you really appreciate and understand it, the next thing what we do is we follow vratas. Vrata is a ritual, as you understand today. But the actual meaning vrata is to follow a thing continuously without break. That is a vrata. The vratas you are knowing today, they are all not vratas because you don't do it continuously. There's a break. Only on such and such a time, only on such and such a day, we perform that. Otherwise, you don't do it. Just for example, say Satyanarayana Vrata, if you are familiar with that. We perform it only on a full moon day. Only on a full moon day. Other than a full moon day, we don't perform Satyanarayana Vrata. There's a break. But Vrata, what is said in the Vedic sense, it is practiced continuously. Are there such Vratas? Yes, we have. Say, for example, speaking truth, Satyam. Satya is a Vrata. Practicing Satya, thinking Satya, talking Satya, doing Satya is a Vrata. Because speaking truth has no holiday. Always we have to, as long as we are awake, we should speak truth. It's not that today is Sunday, so I will give a holiday to truth and speak all untruth. No, there is nothing like that. That is a Vrata. Satya is a Vrata. Ahimsa is a Vrata. Constant learning is a Vrata. We got so many Vratas. We will follow that. And what is the result of following that Vrata? That is protecting God's creation. If we really understand the wonderful way the world has been created, the nature has been created by God, then we respect it, we love it, we honor it, we revere it. We will not pollute it. Please remember, we will not pollute it. Today, because we have got the least respect for it, we are polluting air, we are polluting land, we are polluting water, we are polluting everything. But one who has observed the beauty of the nature, the creation of God, as you see in the first part, Vishnu Karmani Pashyata, look at it, how wonderful it is. Then you will appreciate it and you will always be a protector of, rather than controller of it or exploiter of it or polluter of it. How wonderful this universe will be without pollution of air, water, land, etc., etc. That's what we want. That's a good environment for us to live. Yeto vratani paspashe. Vrata is to live in tune with nature and not disturbing it or spoiling it or polluting it. So what will happen? Indra se yujya sakha. Indra, when I say, it is not Puranic India, where they say stories about heaven and the master of that heaven is Indra and so many things. It's not that. Indra is that God only, that one single entity. God is also called as Indra, that is who is the wealthiest. His wealth is ultimate because the whole universe belongs to him. Our wealth is limited. However big it is, however more it is limited, it's finite. But God's wealth is infinite. We don't know the limits of God's kingdom. It is so big. Not only one solar system we know, there are many such solar systems, hundreds of solar systems, and that's the universe. Oh, he is a master of that. That means he is the wealthiest. Yujya Sakha, we become friendly with that God. Friendly with that God is we lead our lives, we think and talk and do things in accordance with his guidance and create a better world. And we take God as our friend. We treat him as a friend because he's always there to help us, to guide us, to teach us. He's our great friend and philosopher. So we reach that level, starting from when we observe nature keenly and find out how beautiful it is. It's a beautiful world. We have been spoiling it, being selfish and creating chaos and spoiling the whole system and whole environment, which we will not do provided we understand the beauty of it, provided we understand the wonderful arrangement in all that is created by God. That's the meaning of this mantra. Vishnu karmani pashyata, yato vratani paspashe, indrasya yujyasakha. This is a wonderful stand for us to lead our lives in tune with nature and be healthy and safe and secured. The pollutions what we have created, they are never safe. They are killing us slowly. Some seriously. Within a short time we are gone. But when we understand the nature and it is friendly thing which helps us to exist in the long run, not only we, our children, our grandchildren, they also can live safe, provided we protect nature. This we'll understand. Only we understand the purport of this Veda mantra. Vishnu karyani karmani pashyata. Look at it, what God has created. Then yato ratani paspushe. Then follow the regiments. What are the regiments? The regiments are those which go a long way to protect this rather than exploit for selfish needs. Those regiments, they are called as vrata, like satya, ahimsa, the intent to learn and learn always, cleanliness, surrendering to God, God's will. So many things are there. They are all vratas to be performed always, continuously, as long as we are awake. And as a result, we become friendly with God and we are able to experience the peace and bliss which only God can give us. And of course, peace and bliss is our search. We are searching in different ways, but this is the right royal way to get peace and bliss. Observe nature, practice regimens, don't pollute it, be selfless, and be a good friend of God himself. And what is God? It's an experience of peace and bliss, shanti and ananda, which you don't get elsewhere, but in communication with God. That's the purport of this Veda mantra. When you understand this Veda mantra, the way we look at nature, the way we look at the creations of God will be different. The orientation will change. Otherwise, when I look at a tree, if I'm selfish, I always calculate this tree in terms of cubic feet. How many cubic feet is there? How much money I get when I cut this tree and sell it to a timber merchant? No, that's not the way we should think. How wonderful this creation is. It is giving life and shelter to so many creatures and birds. It is giving shelter, it is giving shade. So in this way we think, when we look at the creation of God with this attitude by knowing this mantra. Vishnu karmani pashyata, ito ratani paspashe, indrasya yujyasaka. It is not just few cubic feet of wood, timber, but it is a shelter for hundreds of birds and creatures. And we too also take shelter under its shade. That's the way we look at it. So this reorientation, what is required is a value for life, which we also should pick up and we should make our children also understand this. And both us and our children should be for the protection of this nature and not polluting it. That's a value what you have to teach. One example again, based on this Veda mantra. Now it's open for you to question and let us discuss about things. Not only what I have told you, beyond that, we have been practicing this Jivana Shikshan for the past 3 decades. Even our grandchildren also are into that. And we are confident that it will create good human beings. So it's up to you now for discussion. Samskruta, Samskruti, Jivana Shikshana, this mantra, anything you can question. Question. Yes, Mr. Beneath.
Namaste, Sharmaji.
Namaste.
It was the way you explained today is really nice. I mean, looking at the things from that perspective, the way it is written in the Veda, it is very good actually. I mean, I don't have any. The only question what I have, so the morning Veda classes, the 6 a.m. Veda,
6:30.
6:30, yes.
6:30 a.m. That is
Yeah.
maybe 3 or 4 days in a week, not every day.
Yeah. So unfortunately, we are not able to attend that because we do this, like when yoga meditation during that time. Okay.
Where are you placed? Where are you living?
Hyderabad.
Hyderabad. Huh.
So I mean, whether whatever we are discussing during these Sunday sessions, is some of that aspects are being covered in these sessions, or I mean that
Recorded, and we find it in Vedas for All. Vedas for All or Gurukula.com.
Okay, so it is there.
It is there. You can search there.
Okay.
If any problem is there, you come back to me. The exact thing I will find it out from my friends for managing it, and I will give you the address. And you can find all the lectures there.
Oh, is it? Okay, so that I was not aware actually.
These lectures have been discussed from more than 3 to 4 years. And hundreds of lectures are recorded and placed on that.
Wow.
So it's open to you. We can take it.
Okay, so if you don't mind, I mean, I will ask otherwise Gangadhar to put it in the group, that link, whatever the right link where we can find these things. It will be beneficial for.
Okay. I'll ask my friends to put it in this Jivana Shikshana group. You are free to access it.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
ಸರ್, ನಾನು ರಮ್ಯಾ ಮಾತಾಡೋದು, ಗಂಗಾಧರ್ ವೈಫ್.
ಹೇಳಿ.
ಅವರು ಗಂಗಾಧರ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾಗ್ ಬಂತೇನೋ, ಎಮರ್ಜೆನ್ಸಿ.
No problem. Anyhow, you have taken over.
Sorry?
Anyhow, you have taken over.
Yes.
Somebody to.
Yeah. So I know emergency bantu, so he had to go.
No problem. Tell me.
Anybody else has any question?
Feel free. It's not that I will be able to answer all your questions, but to the best extent, I will try to answer your questions, and it's going to be useful to you. Excellent. Feel free to ask any question.
Guruji, I have shared the link of Vedas for All on the chat. I just want to share that.
That's wonderful, Sheetaji.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
So, Sharmaji, I have a question. So, my daughter is of 6.5 years old.
Mr. Vishal Shah.
Yeah, my daughter is 6.5 years old. I mean, she's too young to understand Sanskrit as a language. So, is it okay for her age to,
No problem.
To recite shlokas and sutras? She's doing.
See, one thing is certain. She has already picked up your mother tongue. She has already picked up on language.
Yes.
She can communicate with you, and you can communicate with her. If it is possible, without force. Repeat, without force. If she likes and pick up Sanskrit, that's excellent. Otherwise, the values enshrined in the Sanskrit language, not just a language, the cultural aspects of it, we can always communicate to her through your language of communication, through your language. There's no problem. She'll pick up those values. Need not be in Sanskrit only.
Yeah, that we do, but at her age, she hasn't developed interest in any of the things that she does basically.
It's
not in even Sanskrit.
Childhood, quite possible. She may not be serious about it. Allow a few more years, she will understand.
Yeah, but till that time, what shall we do? We should not even
let her enjoy and play. Let us play and enjoy. Leave it. Don't put any stress on her or don't send her to any school or kindergarten or whatever it is, and their homework, exam and other things. That chasing is not necessary. You allow her to enjoy, play and enjoy, sleep. It's okay, that's childhood, let them enjoy. Let us not kill their childhood. After maybe 2 or 3 years, once they become a little serious and inquisitive, more inquisitive, then we can perform Upanayana Samskaram and initiate her to learning in a systematic way. That we can do after 2-3 years, no problem at all. Till the time that she enjoy her childhood, leave it.
There is also a school of thought where it says that, you know, kids are very, very receptive till the time or till the age of 9 years or 8 years. And whatever you feed them probably, or maybe whatever they do, just it stays with them forever in their life. So we didn't want to even waste that time, because she's now approaching 9. So we thought that, you know, if she recites certain slokas or probably sutras, probably that will help her in her life, because it's very difficult for us to even judge her interest or level of interest or inclination.
At this point, for some children, we are able to observe their inclination, but some children, they take 8, 10 years, 11 years even to expose their interest, their aptitude. We should be observing. In this Jivana Shikshana, I have told in the very first class, one of the parents should be with the child and observe her activities. She may be playing, but one has to observe how she plays, what place she likes. Then I think we'll be able to find out their inclination, their aptitude faster and with clarity. You allow them to enjoy, you allow them to be free and enjoy their childhood. Let them.
Okay.
Once we observe their inclination, we shall give the inputs what is required that feeds their inclination and curiosity. Then they will develop.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Don't be anxious just because there are 6 or 7 years. Don't be anxious. It may take another 2-3 years also. It is fine. Nothing wrong. But till such time, in your own language, in the mother tongue of the child, let she be given the values, maybe through stories, maybe through discussion, whatever it is. Even if it's childlike and play-like, it doesn't matter. But certain values will get into their mind, provided we go on doing it. If the child is not interested, before the child, you husband and wife, you discuss, and she will be impressed on that. That impression will go on to her mind and soul. We call it Shavana Samskara. Just by listening, it will happen. You elders discuss the values of life. That will automatically influence her. We create such an environment. That's also one of the techniques. We need not have the child before us and target her for our teaching. Not necessarily. It could be indirect also. Okay, father and mother, you parents, take one story, read it, enjoy that story, discuss about that story in the presence of the child. The child will be influenced without knowing that she is getting influenced.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And in terms of these stories, now she's like, we have already completed these Panchatantras and all these, you know, basic the stories that we have. But is there any other source once you've completed that? Because now
That's what I told in the beginning, Vidura Niti and Bhartara's Niti Shataka. They are also a good source of information. Now you might have read these stories, but after reading the stories, you parents, you discuss about it, what is good or what is bad in it, what is to be practiced, what is to be followed, what is not to be followed. If I'm right, the discussion would not have taken place. You might have read the stories, she might have heard it, but further discussion is also required.
Okay, okay. So on the same stories, I and my wife should discuss.
Right, in the presence of the child. Let the child be playing. Even if the child is sleeping also, it doesn't matter. Even in sleep, they pick up without their knowledge.
Okay.
That you can try. That you can try.
Understood. Understood. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Sir, My son is 5 years old and he doesn't sit at one place. It is very difficult for me to make him sit.
No
So
problem.
can
It
I?
is childlike.
Yeah.
It is childlike. And that's the nature of a child. It is very natural for a child. Don't get anxious about it.
Okay. Can I attend and teach him?
Fine. You are welcome to any of our classes.
Okay.
And you can learn and you can implement or you can transfer that learning to him directly, indirectly.
Okay.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, think about all these things. The Sanskrit as a language, Sanskrit as a culture, Veda or Vedic language which is superior than Sanskrit, and the way we understand Vedas and what are the guidelines given in the Vedas. Yes, I have been sharing with you. Think about all those things, and because there are no questions, we'll close the session here and we'll again discuss the coming week with another Veda mantra, with another Vedic concept, and how we have to learn. First, we have to learn and we should be good teachers. Then only we can pass on something to our children, the values mainly. If we ourselves are ignorant, what can we pass it on to our children? It's a big zero. So let us learn. Let's understand the way we have to look at the world and life. And let us give the same outlook to our children through our practice. Let us be role models to them and give such values to them. And of course, they will have a good life. Bread and butter is very simple. It's not a big thing. There are thousands of creatures who are earning their bread and butter. We are also like a creature to earn our bread and butter. But to improve the quality of life, it's not bread and butter that is required. In addition to it, we require knowledge, right knowledge. And we shall get it and pass it on to our children also. What best I know, I will share with you. Thank you all. Yes, Mrs. Gangadhar, you can conclude.
Okay, sir. So I think nobody has any other questions. Sir, you have told some book name, is it? Have you mentioned some book name?
Bhartruhari Niti Shataka and Vidura Niti, a part of Mahabharata.
Bhartruhari.
Bhartruhari.
Okay, Niti Shataka.
Niti Shataka. Niti Shataka means 100 Subhashitas are there. Which, what is called this, which gives out, shows the different facets of life.
Okay.
Which reveals different facets of life. It's very wonderful, very good.
Okay, so somebody has typed the name of the book on the chat group, on the chat. People can get it.
Bhartruhari is Niti Shataka and Vidura Niti of Mahabharata, part of Mahabharata.
Vidura Niti.
Vidura Niti.
Okay. And that website is vedasforall.org.
Yes. Or gurukula.com.
Okay, so shall we end the meeting?
Yes, if there are questions, we can continue. If there are no questions, we can conclude this session for the day.
Ramya, could you please share the name of the books in our group, please?
Yes, that's what she's doing.
Yeah, thank you, dear.
Yeah. Okay. Okay then, sir, shall I end it? Okay.
Yes.
Ma'am,
Yeah,
yes, ma'am. So
yeah,
the WhatsApp group, which we'll be using from tomorrow for the classes, I'm not added in that. Yes.
For Sanskrit class, I'll do that.
Yes.
I'll ask Gangu to do that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay, sir. I'm ending the meeting.
Right.
Namaste, sir.